I'm Tracy Austin, and I want to take you through the technique on the volley. Let's get you prepared for the volley first. Very important to have the split step. When do you take the split step? Right before your opponent strikes the ball, you take the split step for balance, so that then you can dart to your right or to your left. Very important. Now, where do you want your racket head? You want it about even with your nose. You don't want it up too high because you're probably going to hit a volley right about this level. So you want it to be as quick a movement as possible so that therefore you don't have to worry about time. So you got to be right here, out in front, athletic stance, weight on the balls of your feet. So the ball's now going to be coming to your forehand. So you get this rotation. You don't just take it back with your shoulder. You get this whole rotation of your body. So now you've moved as a unit. You don't want the racket head to go further back than your shoulder. So you're not going to take a huge swing because it's very hard to time the ball and pretty risky. You're probably going to come up with an error. So you want to keep it compact. You want to keep the strings of your racket facing your opponent. You don't want to take it back like this, or you don't want to take it back like this. You're pretty much setting the racket where the ball is coming to. So if the racket is, if the ball is coming down lower, you're going to have to bend down lower and you set the racket down lower. If the ball is coming higher, you're going to set the racket up a little bit higher, right behind the flight of the ball. So you turn, you set that racket, and look at the angle of the elbow right here and the angle of the wrist. It's not like this, where the racket's straight up and down. It's nice and relaxed with the wrist because you're going to need that later to get a little bit of feel when you actually strike the ball. And your elbow is nicely relaxed as well for good spacing. You're not going to be stiff like this because then you only have the hand to work with. You want to work with the whole arm on your volley as a unit. So therefore, you're going to take that racket back, not too far, set the racket to the flight of the ball, that the ball is coming. You're going to have that athletic stance with the knees bent because you're going to use the legs on the volley. It's kind of not many people talk about the legs on the volley. They just think you're using your arms. But you're using a lot of your legs. You're setting with that right leg. That is the load leg. You're setting your racket right behind the ball. And then you're pushing through, pushing with that back leg forward into the shot. And boom. And the strings, when you're done, really should still be facing your opponent. You don't want to see the top of your racket. You don't want to see the bottom of the racket. Definitely don't want to be swinging too much like this. Try to keep it as simple as possible and use the opponent's pace and just go for great technique and great placement. Now, as you get better, you can start to get a little fancier, but in the beginning, you want to keep it as simple as possible. Let's go through that. So you're going to get a great take back, and boom, you're just setting. Now you should be able to, when you're done, you should be able to stay on balance like this and not be leaning over. That shows you that you're having good balance. And you should be able to see the strings of your racket from your opponent's side, and that shows you whether you hit the ball down the line or a little bit more of an angle cross court. Now as you advance on the volley, you're going to get a little bit of underspin for feel and better placement, but that's as you get better. So let's try that. We're going to get a little bit more underspin so that this portion of the racket's going to come through for control. You're not going to hit it quite so flat. So this comes through with control. Now when you notice when I hit the volley, it's not just the lower portion of my hand. It's not just from the elbow here. It's really from the shoulder as a unit coming through, and that's crucial. You got that good shoulder turn, and everything comes through together like this. No one joint is being overused. Let's talk about the grip on the forehand volley. When most players just start, they kind of use this forehand Eastern grip. They kind of get this look, where as you get better, as you start playing more, spend more time on the court, you really want to improve your forehand volley, you're going to use the continental grip, where this first knuckle is not on the top bevel, not on the right bevel, but in between. And what that does is it gives you a little bit of slice. So let's check that out. So it gives you a little bit of slice because automatically you have a little bit of a bevel when you strike the ball because of the grip. Let's go back to the Eastern forehand grip, there you go. That's what that looks like. That's not what you want to see on the volley. You want to see that continental grip so that you can get below the ball on the low ones, have some slice here for control on this average height one, and you can still hit through the volley on the high ones. Tendency for a lot of people is on the high volley, trying to hit it too powerful and the hit comes straight down. You still on the high volley have to go straight out towards your target. Hope that helps you hit winning volleys.